Hi YouTube, I'm pleased to tell you that I finished all of Matthew. So in the Douay-Rheims Bible, the New Testament starts out with Matthew, and there are 28 chapters in the book of Matthew. Throughout some of my performances, my voice cracks because I've had a lot of allergies lately, so I've been drinking a lot more water. Sometimes too, when I'm in the process of singing sacred scriptures, because I'm not a professional performer by any stretch, my nose will get itchy. So you'll see me sometimes, scratching my nose. And it could be a little nervousness because even though I've been YouTubing for a number of years and trying different things on YouTube, I do get a little bit nervous when I'm performing. What helps me stay grounded and focused on my performance is remembering that I'm very small. And my hope is that those who enjoy hearing the scriptures being sung will benefit in some way from this. This is my gift to the world, sing the scriptures. Douay-Rheims is my favorite Bible. Everybody has a favorite Bible, so I don't tell other people what to do. And this is just something that I enjoy doing. It brings me peace and comfort. So now that I've done all those chapters, I'm going to spend the next few days listening to them myself. I'm actually going to listen to them myself. I allow some room for error. You'll notice in some of the chapters that I repeat some of the sentences. And that's true. If I mispronounce a word, I'll just simply go back over that sentence and repeat it. I might accidentally miss a word in between, and as long as it's not a key word that isn't, in other words, if the meaning of the sentence is not destroyed by me missing a word, then I will proceed and continue singing. Sometimes I have to do over. I have a dog, and sometimes she barks, so sometimes she'll start barking during my performance, and then I have to make sure that she's all settled, and then I go back to it and get it done. Or if I mispronounce or mess up a keyword or something that will take away from the meaning, then I will, do it over. So, but I'm really pleased to say that I have completed Matthew, all 28 chapters. I've done this before, but I really needed more time to become more enlightened. My first YouTube channel that I had up was nice, and that one I got locked out of. I was singing a lot of spiritual hymns. The other YouTube that I still have, I was doing the scriptures, but then I was branching off into all sorts of different directions. And this time I've decided to just sing the scriptures and do that well, sing little songs that come to me and do that well, and just try to do what I do in my own way and do it well. And I don't have to be all over the place. At one time I did publish poetry that I had written when I was younger, my grandfather's poems. I did do that, but I didn't feel the need to leave that out there, so I've cleaned up my YouTube a lot, and instead I'm just focusing on the singing of sacred scriptures, which I dedicate to the memory of my deceased father, whose birthday was October 4th, and in honor of my beloved, now elderly mother, who is now 88 years old. I do talk to my mom, so I had to work through some difficult emotions there, but I've let go of everything. And my mom is an amazing lady. She is very forgiving and loving and kind. I know this because Mom and I are talking, and we're on good terms. And I told her I live a very simple life now, and my mom says, well, I've never objected to that. And she never has, because my mother also lived a very simple life. She still does. She raised 8 of us on a strict budget, and my dad had disability, so I don't know how they did it, to be quite honest. My dad had a disability. I also have a disabling condition where I need a lot of rest and everything, so I have special needs too. But to all my followers, thank you for believing in me and for following me on YouTube. I appreciate you all very much. And now I'm just focusing on, playing music too and trying to do that well also. So this is an instrument I purchased when I visited Turkey. I had shared all the footage with the world on YouTube of my travels around Europe. But I didn't feel the need to leave that up there all the time either, because they are special memories for my son and I. He'll always remember, the trips that we went on. I took him on an epic road trip too when we were in South Dakota. But now I live a very simple life. Coming back from Ireland to America, it was very expensive. So I couldn't afford a car, but I did get my driver's license. I just can't afford a car, it's too expensive. But I'm embracing living a simple life. So I'm going to wrap this up with rejoicing that I got all of Matthew done, chapters 1 through 28, no small feat. And I'm sorry that my performances are not perfect, but are any of us really perfect? I know the scriptures say, be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. Well, what does being perfect mean? I can't say. I look at myself as a sinner. I always say, my sin is always before me. I don't know that there's any such a thing as a perfect human being, but maybe perfection means just being humbling ourselves. And for me, I think perfection means and I'll apply this to myself. My first name is Alice. My last name is Riley. Just for those who are wondering who I am. And my father's name was Thomas Oliver Riley. We used to be O'Reilly, but my dad dropped the O. But back to perfection. Well, what is perfection? I think it's found in humility, being able to humble ourselves. I was terrible at judging other people. I'd be busy, pointing the finger at someone like, you, that would be me doing that. But when you do that, you have 3 fingers at least pointing back at you. So when you do this, right, you've got the thumb facing forward and the finger, but then you've got 3 fingers pointing back at you, right? I like that. I think my brother taught me that. One of my brothers taught me that. Bernard did. Thank you, Bernie. My brother Bernie taught me that. Unfortunately, I'm not close to my siblings. I've tried, just haven't had any success trying to reconnect with them. I did clean up my blog though, because I was venting on my blog and realized that was not kind. So I've cleaned up my blog a lot too, because I don't want to use it as a venting space anymore. I want to use my blog as a safe space to come and write positive things in the world and try to be more positive. So I've decided to forgive everybody who's ever hurt me. It doesn't matter, I've forgiven them all and I'm letting it all go, because when we hold on to resentments, it makes us sick. Anger makes us sick. And I was a very angry person. So I'm just going to play an impromptu soft tune. I bought this when I was in, was it Ephesus or Kusadasi? I think it was when I was in Kusadasi. Yeah, when I was visiting a Muslim mosque there was somebody was selling these, and I had enough, so I bought it, and it's really pretty. So here we go. I'm going to play a tune. I love the sound of it. My pet, the dog, also really likes the sound of it. So I'm trying to do just sing the scriptures and play music and do the things that I do well. That was advice given me from Christine Louis de Cannonville in Ireland. She wrote the book called The 3 Faces of Evil, The Problem of Narcissism. I studied narcissism in Ireland at great length because we all have a tendency to be narcissistic. It's our ego. We all have an ego, and it's good to have a healthy ego. And self-esteem is also important. But then there's diabolical narcissism, where people are full of themselves and they can't say sorry. But what I've discovered is my mother has narcissistic tendencies. She does, because it's my belief that she was abused in the Irish school system as a young girl, which wouldn't be the fault of her family. It's just how the schools were in Ireland. But my mom said she was never in an industrial school, so I have to believe what she says and take her word for it, that she was never in an industrial school. I was convinced she might have been, because that's what they were doing in Ireland, taking the kids and putting them in these industrial schools. But even if she wasn't, so I believe my mom, she said she wasn't, so she wasn't. But even if she wasn't in an industrial school, the schools at the time were very, very abusive to kids. Somewhere along the line, my mother was accessed for abuse. So how that happened, we may never know, and I wouldn't want to re-trigger my mom by asking her questions. But my mother is holy. She is a wonderful lady, very forgiving. While mom might not always be able to say sorry, she finds ways to say sorry. I'll never forget this, and then I'll wrap up this little YouTube clip. Years ago in Ireland, when we were little, my mom was having not the best day, and she was always home with us. My mother was always home with us at all times, but we were bigger now. We could be home alone for a little while because we were bigger. So she took off and went for a walk in Longford town, and she came back with apple pie for all of us, and isn't that what parents do? And they really love their kids. They might get upset. We thought we had lost our mother forever. We were really scared, but after that we were on our best behaviour for quite some time. But of course that didn't last. It rarely does with 8 kids. But my mother's a living saint, and I'll always love my mom. So I dedicate this post also to my beloved mother. So I'd like to do that. I don't have any other deep thoughts, and I've been on here a while, so I try to watch how long I'm talking on YouTube for. But I'm just really glad I got Matthew done. So I'm on here 9 minutes. That's long enough. Have a blessed Sunday. I finished it on a Sunday too. I'm really pleased to say I finished all 28 chapters on a Sunday. Have a blessed Sunday and take it easy. God bless.